Hello everyone, this is my first video. So what I'm doing is I'm making some jerky with the pork tenderloin. What I do is I go to the store and I get the big 10-12 pound pork tenderloin, and what I do is I cut the really fatty end that has a lot of sinew and a lot of fat. It also has multiple grains, and it also has dark and light meat, as you can see here. So what you see here is I've already started. This is kind of like my scrap bowl. Usually I use that for the dogs later on when I do some training. And then I have my marinade that I use the food saver with, and you can see the food saver here. Let's slide it forward here. Food saver. It has a marinated setting on it. So normally I make my own marinade. I use soy sauce, brown sugar, onion powder, garlic powder, pepper, and a little bit of liquid smoke. Sometimes I use the apple flavor smoke. But as you can see, I have a glove here and I'm ungloved here. Typically I use the ungloved hand for my knife work and the gloved hand for my my meat. And what I do is I take the pork tenderloin, the piece that I've cut off. I typically put it in the freezer for, I don't know, maybe an hour, hour and a half. We don't want it frozen, but we want it froze enough to where the meat isn't squishy like this. I started processing prior to my deciding to make a video. So as you can see here, I got a clean cutting board, or I had a clean cutting board, clean big knife, gloved hand. I've cleaned all my area. Usually what I use is 409. I clean that. The dog's playing a visit. Get out of here. And then I wipe everything down, I let it dry, and then I come back and I just make sure everything's all clean prior to my processing. All right, so what we want to do is here, we want to try and get all the fat off. And you see there's like little bits of meat. Some of it's worth going after, some of it's not worth going after. So typically what I'll do is I'll just take some slices here, and as you can see, now let me slide it over here a little bit. As you can see here, there's still some fat on it. So what I'll do is I'll go after, excuse me, I'll go after those little slices of meat. And get out of here, go. My dog Max needs to go outside, and my son is up, so he's gonna take care of that. So then what I do is I just try and get as much of the fat off as, and these little bits of meat here, little pieces of fat, that's okay. Sometimes I'll go after them, sometimes I don't, depending upon, how much effort I want to put into it. But you know as well as I do, the more fat that you take off it, the better. But a little fat's not going to kill you either. Even the store-bought brands have some fat. So what I'll do is I'll go through and I'll try and get it anywhere between a quarter, eighth of an inch. Sometimes I'll go a little bit thicker depending upon the location of the meat that I'm trying to get a hold of. So like this one has quite a bit. So I might not even go after that. Sometimes it's not even worth it, but there is some small bits of meat here. So you can go after that stuff. And I'll keep that, I'll get rid of that. Sometimes I use the leftover meat. I'll put it in the dehydrator and I'll use it for training with the dogs. Some of the fat content, they seem to enjoy it. And it gives them a taste of meat, and I'm not wasting it. So all right, so that's pretty much how we process the tenderloin. I mean, obviously you can see here I have a pretty good selection here. I still have much more to cut through here. So what I'll do later on is I'll come back and I'll show you the finished product as we make our marinade.